All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hyde Park Town Board regular meeting and public hearing for Monday, November 19th, 2018 at 7 p.m. So if we can please pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I want to welcome everyone. Our supervisor is away visiting some family, so I know she's enjoying herself. I spoke to her twice today, and she just can't seem to get away, which is great. I'd like to, if we can have accept the minutes for October 29th and November 5th, please.
Make a motion?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Great. And we have public comment on resolutions only, 3-minute limit. If anybody would like to speak on the resolutions tonight? Sure, come on up. And if you can just announce your name, address.
Sure. My name is John Green. No E on the end of green, just like money.
Okay.
No E on the end of money. I'm here, I'd like to understand about the solar pilot agreement. I read it, I thought I understood it. Then I watched the TV, and I listened to you discuss it. I listened to the attorney, Warren, explain the elimination of the 75% cap, which was good, but you never mentioned anything about the elimination of the distribution of the pilot payment to each of the taxing authority. And you don't know what you don't know, so I can't comment it. I'd really like to hear your explanation, because the way I interpret it, pilot is in payment in lieu of taxes. There's an assessment, whether it be, and I'm talking about I would like to understand it from the fire department standpoint, but we have a budget. And there's an assessment of the Roosevelt Fire District, which will be bigger now because we combined with Staatsburg. But we have a budget. I'll use last year, it's $1.2 million. And there's an assessment roll for the Roosevelt Fire District. And of course, to get your per thousand assessed valuation, one divides the expenses into the total assessment. And I understand all that. And by the way, before I go any further, I'd like to thank Joe. I did call Joe after I watched the TV. After I read this, I did some research. And I'd like to thank you, Joe, for your help, your return phone calls. Excellent. Now get back on this. I understand the 75%. What you'd like to do is get rid of that cap and negotiate that. But I still don't understand elimination of requirements concerning the distribution of the payment in lieu of taxes to each of the taxing authorities. Now, the Roosevelt Fire District is a taxing authority. The library is a taxing authority. Now, if you come to some kind of agreement and it's in lieu of taxes, then I would assume that hunk of money, instead of them paying taxes, it's going to be a pilot that's going to pay to the town in lieu of taxes. But it doesn't look like that lump of money is going to be shared with the other governmental agencies, i.e. the fire department.
I think when you're ready, I think Warren can explain.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah.
go ahead.
So what we'll do is we have the 2 public hearings, and one is on that solar pilot. If you can give us a couple moments, we're going to do the first one, which is on the assessment rolls.
That's fine.
We'll open that up, and then we'll close that, and then we'll get to the local law on the solar, and then Warren can address all that and hopefully clarify your questions for you.
I didn't
All right,
want to
and
cut
if
you off. I just want to let you know that I think that Warren can explain.
No, but if
that.
I have questions, can I ask them once I find out what
Yeah, hopefully, I think Warren will pretty much
Sure.
have you
Not a
all, will have you all
problem.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only other question you may want to jot down is, if there's a property, and most of these are farmlands, a couple, the 4 on the books, I understand you got 5 more in the works, that's a total of 9. But the 4 that are in the works, those that are, they have agricultural reduced too, and now they're gonna get solar. And by the way, that's fine. I just want to make sure that the fire department doesn't lose its fair share,
Sure.
okay?
Yep.
And,
Yeah, we'll adjust
yeah,
all that for you,
okay.
Mr. Green.
John, Mr. Green was my father.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you could do the first public hearing, please.
Please take notice that the Hyde Park Town Board will conduct a public hearing on the proposed assessment rolls that the Town Assessor of the Town of Hyde Park, Dutchess County, New York, has filed for the fiscal year 2018 for the properties within the special improvement districts in the Town of Hyde Park pursuant to Town Law Section 239. The public hearing will be held at the Town Hall located at 4383 Albany Post Road, Hyde Park, New York, at 7:05 p.m. on Monday, November 19th, 2018, to hear any objections which may be made to the proposed benefit assessment rolls for the following special improvement districts: Greenfield Sewer District, Pine Brook Lighting District, and Woodland Grange Drainage. Please note that no other special assessments will be considered. Copies of the proposed benefit assessment rolls have been filed in the office of the town clerk at 4383 Albany Post Road, Hyde Park, New York, and are available for inspection during regular business hours on Monday through Friday, 8:30 till 4 p.m. By order of the Town Board of the Town of Hyde Park, dated November 5th, 2018, Hyde Park, New York, Donna McGrogan, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You're welcome.
Is there anybody that would like to speak on this public hearing this evening? If not, I think, Warren, we can close this tonight? Can I have a motion to close this?
Motion to close?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you. And Madam Clerk, second public hearing, please.
Please take notice that the Hyde Park Town Board has scheduled a public hearing on the adoption of Local Law I of 2018, entitled A Local Law Amending Section 120-23 of Chapter 100 of the Town of Hyde Park Code, for November 19th, 2018 at 7:10 p.m. at the Hyde Park Town Hall located at 4383 Albany Post Road, Hyde Park, New York. The purpose of said local law is to amend pilot agreement procedure for solar farms to require annual payments in the amount not to exceed the amount which would otherwise be payable, but for exemption provided pursuant to RPTL Section 487. All persons desiring to be heard at said public hearing shall be given the opportunity to do so. A copy of said local law is available in the town clerk's office during normal business hours and shall be posted on the town's official website. By order of the Town Board of the Town of Hyde Park, dated November 5th, of 2018, Hyde Park, New York, Donna McGrogan, Town Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Okay, sorry.
So Warren, if you could address some of those.
Yeah, let me just, well, I'll get to that after. So the pilot law, I know it's very complicated, but you're not,
I've been asking questions all day about it, so.
and I still have some questions, but the bottom line is for the fire district, there's no exemption from the taxation for the fire district. You produce your budget, it's put on the tax roll. There's an exemption from the town tax under 487 of the real property tax law. There's not an exemption from the ad valorem taxes for fire districts or library districts or even special districts. So when we had the language about distributing to the other assessment, it really didn't apply to this because the pilot program is only for the town tax. The school district has the ability to require a pilot for the school tax, and the county have the ability to do that. Those are the only three taxing authorities that have jurisdiction to require a pilot and override the exemption. But the exemption does not apply to your fire budget. You will get the full fire budget. But there is a question which we have to resolve, and I'm going to talk to Emily and our assessor about it. also, and the question is what assessment we use for computing the fire district tax, and we have to sort that out. It has nothing to do with what you're going to get in terms of your budget. You're going to get your full budget. It means it depends on how it's going to be spread around. So what I'm unsure about at this point, we have to clarify it, is that when we, on the tax bill, when we put the assessed value for the per diem, for the per thousand rate, whether we use the reduced value or whether we use the regular value, and we have to sort. I'm not sure I know the answer to that. We may have to get a decision from ORMS. But you're going to get your full. You're going to get everything that you're entitled to under the budget. That language only talked in terms of distributing the pilot payment, which can only apply to the town, to the county, and to the school district.
Okay, so.
You can come on
You
back
come
up
on
if
up to the
you-
mic,
yeah.
yes, please.
And that was what I was kind of curious about, exactly what you just said,
Yeah, yeah.
because I understand about, doesn't apply to the school, or the fire and.
Yeah, when we collect the other, when we collect the other taxes.
Right.
For the fire, that'll all be distributed the way it's normally, there's no
Now,
change in that
That
whatsoever.
stuff, that assessment roll, I would assume, is based upon those houses in the Roosevelt Fire District, okay? Because if you look down on assessment rolls, you'll see Roosevelt Fire District. And now Statsburg, which will now be Roosevelt. And that's one hunk of the total assessment, okay? With the budget, which, of course, the budget is also has a criteria from the state that you can't exceed certain things. But whatever that is, divided into that, that's our per thousand assessed valuation.
Right. The only question we have, the assessor has to sort that out, is whether when they use the assessed valuation, they use the reduced assessed valuation from the town for the pilot, or whether you have to actually add in the valuation for the solar improvements.
Right.
And I really don't
And
know the
that-
answer to that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that was what I'm trying to figure out, because if you reduce that assessment, after the pilot's agreed upon, whether it's 75%, 80%, 60%, 100%. Once that agreement is, then you've got some kind of an assessment. Now, what's passed down to us? Is it, like you said, is it prior to or after the subtraction of?
Well, just, I don't know if you realized, but, because this is something we're kind of all learning, but all the properties that would get a solar facility, they're still gonna pay taxes, the same taxes they're paying now on the land. So
Okay.
the only thing we're talking about with the pilot is what's over and above that, what the value of the improvement is.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're still gonna pay their regular tax for the
Okay.
fire district, for the county, for the town, for everybody.
But on
So
their, but will they have the same assessment on their property?
that's what
Because
we're
if
trying
they
to
don't
figure
have
out.
the same
Yeah.
assessment on their property, they're not gonna pay as much taxes,
Well,
because,
Why- yeah.
all that means for the fire district is that it's spread around to everybody within the district, so but you still get the same amount. It's that
Let me-
taxpayer
let me-
doesn't have to pay that portion.
my house, let's say,
taxpayers
is
pay a little
assessed at
more.
$100,000.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
pay some amount to the fire district.
Correct.
If I get a payment in lieu of taxes, that if I paid the town X amount of dollars, now we made an agreement, I'm not gonna pay the town X amount of dollars, I'm gonna pay it less. Because the pilot is an agreement, right? Versus taking it off the tax rolls. Because you're not really paying taxes anymore, you're paying an agreement
They're still
versus
paying
paying
the-
the
No,
assessed
the
value.
land
Still
tax
paying
isn't,
the land tax.
right, that
Yeah.
doesn't change. This is just based upon the solar
Okay,
units that are
improved.
on the property. So the land tax and the property tax
Oh.
stays the same.
Okay.
This is an addition to.
Okay.
So
You're-
example, to give
If
you
I
an
were to improve my house, it's an
Right.
addition to.
It's an addition to.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay,
So if the solar improvements add 50,000 of value, if it's exempt under the 487, we don't do that for purposes of the town tax. We still haven't figured out, though, which assessed value we use for the fire district, but we'll sort that out.
And once we
may have
get
to
that, we'll get that.
We may have to
over
get
you.
We'll let
guidance
you know,
from
yeah.
Orbs
Yeah.
on that.
I know
But you're not
Joe
gonna
will.
lose, you're gonna get your full amount.
Right, that's not gonna change.
Let me tell you, trust is good, but checking is
Trust-
better.
Clarify,
Trust
right?
me on that.
Hey, thanks an awful lot, and thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Thanks, John.
No, well, this is just the meeting to set the local law, so they'll have an opportunity to address us.
Okay.
We're setting down the public hearing for this local law, we're just changing the pilot law. And the reason is it gives us more flexibility in negotiating the pilot if we took out the 75% cap. I mean, for internal purposes, it helps us. But there's going to be a public hearing on this, so I may have the answer, I hope I have the answer for that one question that I couldn't answer tonight. But the bottom line is, it doesn't matter, you're going to get your full budget paid to the fire district.
This
This
is the
is,
public
this is the
hearing.
public hearing, we're not.
Oh, I thought it said,
No, that's what I was
start the
asking.
adoption
No,
process.
This is the.
This is
Oh.
the public hearing.
Oh, then I'm sorry, then we are adopting the public,
So should we,
I'm sorry, we are adopting the local law tonight, I got confused,
I'm not worried about,
you know.
I'm not worried about the fire department losing any portion of the budget.
This says
I'm worried about
commencing the local-
what the budget is being assessed
I read the
on,
wrong one.
the total assessment. And I
Yeah.
think that's the thing we said we were gonna work out. But no, this is a public hearing.
we
Wait
don't
a
have
second,
on
which
tonight to adopt it. We're just, this is the public hearing, but we don't have a resolution to adopt it yet. So we
Okay,
could keep
that's
the
what I-
public hearing open,
Right,
or
that's
we
what
could.
was confused about.
Yeah.
We're having the public
Well-
hearing, we're not passing the resolution.
Should we leave it open?
No.
Well,
Yeah, we have to leave it open, you know.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to keep
No,
this,
we can close the public
we
hearing.
can close the public
Yeah,
hearing?
yeah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to close the public hearing?
What? Yeah,
Motion.
we should have had the-
Second?
Okay, we'll do that. At the next meeting, we'll adopt the local law, but we'll have the answer for you by the next meeting. I think I have your email address that, through Joe, and I'll
Yeah.
get the answer.
Or if you want, if you don't, forward it to me and I can forward it to John. Okay?
So we have a second?
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
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 Great.
Sorry for the confusion.
That's okay.
We have one, before you get to the resolutions, we have to just amend
Which one?
Resolution 11-19-3. It's really the assessment roll for the 2019,
19.
not 2018. I don't think anybody was really confused, but if we can change in the caption 2018 to 2019, and then therefore resolve 2018 to 2019, because it's really the benefit assessment roll for the next year's taxes.
And I did check with the assessor on that, and she told me it was 18.
18?
It was on last year's, and I mean, you certainly would know better than I, but I did check that. I thought it was
So
a
she said
typo.
the 18 is correct?
That's what she told me, yes. But,
Maybe that's how you label the assessment roll.
I'll
Yeah.
take her advice on that, and we'll leave it at 18.
So we're gonna leave it at
We
2018?
can always amend it retroactively.
Okay. So no amendment?
No amendment.
Okay. All right. So if we can move on to the resolutions?
Resolution 11-19-1 of 2018, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to solicit requests for proposals for sidewalk repairs as needed for the sidewalks at Hyde Park Town Hall.
Second,
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1119-2 of 2018, resolution revising the 2019 preliminary budget and approving the 2019 adopted budget.
Second?
And I think we should do a roll call on that, please?
Councilwoman Svensson.
Aye.
Councilman Ray.
Aye.
Councilman Marine.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Schneider.
Aye.
Resolution 11-19-3 of 2018, resolution accepting the benefit assessment rolls for 2018 for special improvement districts within the town of Hyde Park.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 11-19-4 of 2018, resolution commencing the local law adoption process for proposed local law J of 2018 entitled, "A Local Law Rescinding Local Law 8 of 2018 to Override the Tax Levy Limit for Fiscal Year 2019 Pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 3C."
Second,
And all in favor?
aye.
It's pretty exciting. So we passed the budget
Yeah.
tonight
Yeah.
under the tax
the
cap
Within the tax cap.
and rescinding that option to
Override
exceed
that.
it,
And,
so that now everyone can get their rebate check, right?
Absolutely. And, Howie, thank you again for all your work and diligence and working with us with that. I know it's always challenging and you know, the town is really working hard to strive to do that, so thank you, everyone.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
Councilman Ray?
Okay, Resolution 1119-5 of 2018, resolution authorizing town supervisor to accept a proposal from AT&T for the service plan and purchase of new cell phones for certain Town of Hyde Park employees.
Second?
And all in favor? This is actually pretty exciting. This is a new cell phone service for like the supervisor, the highway supervisor, the chief of police. So if there's a major storm and the towers go down, they get priority on the towers. And so that way they can all communicate. And it's almost like a two-way radio where they can all communicate. So it should help for, you know, emergencies and services. So thank you.
Resolution 1119-6 of 2018, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a lease agreement between the Town of Hyde Park Police Department and New York Communications Company for Eventide Recorder.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 1119-7 of 2018, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a lease agreement between the Town of Hyde Park and Canon for 3 new copiers for various departments within Hyde Park Town Hall.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 1119-8 of 2018, resolution adjusting wages for part-time and seasonal employees for the Town of Hyde Park.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 1119-9 of 2018, resolution authorizing Town of Hyde Park personnel assistant Sandra Bruno to carry over accrued vacation time.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Thank
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I just wanted to read a little post that we received on Facebook. Emily brought it to my attention, and I also thought it would be important to read tonight. And since our highway superintendent's here tonight, that storm that we had really just wreaked havoc not only with our town, but, you know, throughout the county and throughout the state. It was one of those, as talking to our highway superintendent, just it came at the worst time. And you know, we have some really good employees that work for our town. And I'd just like to read this little note that somebody sent us on Facebook. It said, I want to give a special thank you to one of the guys last night who was in a town salt truck. He helped a very panicked woman, that would be me, who was stuck sideways in my minivan on a blind turn on Dutchess Hill. He got me safely back down the hill and told me to wait until he salted the entire length of the road before I attempted again. He was so kind and compassionate, and I thought you should know what good people you have working for you. Be safe, everyone, and thank you to all who leave the warmth of their homes and families so the rest of us can get home safely. And, you know, Howie, thank you. Please thank the guys for us. You know, I think, you know, a lot of times we take it for granted. We're sitting in our warm homes or our offices, and you guys are out all night long. And to get out of your vehicle to help a stranded woman, I know you said you had cars on St. Andrews Road that you're pulling people out. It's just not guys sitting in a truck salting. And, you know, can I come up? Yeah, please do. Come on up. You know, it's just, when you hear this and read this, you know, for people to take time, it's always easy for people to take time to complain. But for somebody to take the time to really appreciate what you do really stands out. So thank you.
I would just like the townspeople to realize that the highway guys really only have to work 16 hours. If they come to me and say they're tired, they'll be allowed to go home for 8 hours and sleep. That last storm, my guys worked 31 hours before they were able to leave. And, you know, a lot more positive than negative. You know, we do hear a lot of positive. Few negatives, but, you know, you're always going to get that. But, you know, for those people that give those negatives, they could have left. And you would have been that much longer before the roads were clear. It's a great group. Guys, you know, that are getting out of their vehicles, pushing cars out. My guy was on St. Andrews for over 2 hours on one road trying to get that road open so people could get home. So, you know, I just want to give a shout out, the Hyde Park Police Department, the Rec Department doing the sidewalks the next day, the fire department who blocked off St. Andrews to keep cars off of it so we could get it clear. You know, it's just, it's a group thing, and everybody was out there and they worked hard, so.
Right, well, thank you, and we
Thank
really
you.
do appreciate it. It doesn't go
Thank you.
unnoticed, so thank you. Other than that, does anybody have any news to
We-
report?
We have the tree lighting coming up, right?
Yes, we do.
December 2nd,
Yes.
4:45?
4:45, and we meet over at the Hyde Park Methodist Church.
Yep.
We light some candles, we sing some carols, and we meet here, and Santa arrives, and we sing some songs and eat some cookies and donuts, which is a lot
Cocoa.
of fun.
Yep.
And other than that, I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yep.
If you're deep frying a turkey, keep it away from your house. And, I'd like a motion to close, if we could, please.
Make a motion to close?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Very good.
Fun.
I had no idea what we were talking about.
Thank you, that was really nice.